The reason you can't understand English when people speak to you isn't because they're too fast. It's because you're doing two jobs at once. You're listening to English and translating it. And by the time you've translated one word, you've missed the next 5. And nobody ever told you that this is the problem. I went to the supermarket yesterday because we needed some milk. I went to the supermarket yesterday because we needed some milk. Now imagine you hear the word supermarket. You stop. Supermarket, supermarket. What's that in my language? And while you're doing that, I've carried on talking. You've missed yesterday, needed, you've missed milk. And now you're trying to work out what the hell the rest of the sentence was about. So I'm not going to tell you, never translate. That's not realistic. If you hear a word you don't know, of course you may want to find out what it means, but don't stop listening whilst you do it. That's the difference. When somebody speaks to you, you don't need to catch every single word. You need to catch enough of the important ones to follow what's happening. I went supermarket yesterday, needed milk. That's already enough to understand the basic message. You didn't need to stop and analyze. I, pronoun, went, past tense, to, preposition, the, article. By the time you've finished doing that, I've gone home. So let's try something. I'm going to say something. Don't try to translate it. Just listen and see how many words you recognize. I couldn't go to work this morning because my car wouldn't start. Don't worry if you didn't get everything. What words did you hear? Work, morning, car, start? That's fine. Those words carry a lot of the meaning. I couldn't go to work this morning because my car wouldn't start. Did you catch a few more words that time? That's what we're training. It feels uncomfortable at first to let words go by, but that discomfort is actually your brain learning a new skill. Here's the rule to help you lean into it. Hear it, recognize it, keep listening. Don't stop the conversation to translate every word you hear, because every time you hear a word in English, translate it and then come back to the conversation. You're not practicing English. You're practicing translation. Every time you hear a word, recognize it and keep listening. Now you're practicing English. Now here's something important. Suppose you're listening and the only words you're recognizing are the, to, and, because, of, whilst you're missing all the important words. That tells us something. The problem may not be your listening. You may simply not know enough vocabulary yet, and this is where something else gets confused. Vocabulary isn't grammar. Vocabulary is knowing the words car, work, morning, start. Grammar is what tells us how those words fit together. You don't need to understand grammar before you can start using words. You need the words first. And this is why listening and copying are so important. You hear the words being used. You copy them. You hear them again. You use them again. And gradually, your brain starts learning how English works without you having to stop and analyze every sentence. Grammar can explain it later. First, you need something for grammar to explain. Let's try one more. When I got home last night, the children were already asleep. What did you catch? Home, last night, children, asleep? Excellent. You didn't have to translate the sentence. You didn't have to understand every word. You just kept listening and picked out what you could. And perhaps this time you caught a little more. That's how you train your brain. You're not trying to make your brain work faster. You're teaching it to stop doing the wrong job. English comes in, your brain recognizes what it can, meaning begins to form, and the listening continues. That's what we want. So the next time someone speaks English to you, don't panic because you don't understand every word. Don't stop the conversation because you found one word you don't know. Catch what you can. Keep listening. And if you're consistently hearing only the little words while missing the important ones, don't practice listening to harder English. Go back and build your vocabulary. Because vocabulary gives you the words. Listening teaches you how they behave. Copying makes them yours. And grammar? Grammar can explain the whole bloody thing afterwards. Learn what English feels like first.